Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 12 of Timeliner, my progression-locked Ironman series, where I'll be exploring the world of Runescape, one game update at a time, only with the gear and skills available up until this point. After spending way too much time in some weird jungles and spooky caves, it's time for some rapid progress. With RuneScape 2 looming ever closer, there's a strong focus on getting that update out in 2003. The amount of content updates are therefore a bit smaller. Of the 118 update posts in 2003, 23 were focused around RuneScape 2. Almost as many as the 27 posts were some kind of content update. Last episode, we've wrapped up the Underground Pass and thus completed the update from the 3rd of March. And the next content update is not too far away. Just 2 weeks later, we stop on the 17th of March for our next quest. Number 43, Obervatory quest. A more light-hearted adventure in the heartland of Kandarin. The local observatory has been ransacked by goblins, and the rebuilding efforts fall into the hands of an energetic professor, his cheerful assistant, and soon, also us. The goblins have stolen parts of the telescope, and now we follow the simple process of letting the professor telling us what we need, the assistant, where we can find it, while we are doing all the work. First task, planks. We should find some near Port Khazad. But curiously, we are also being told that we can craft some ourselves in Fort Forentry. Before 2023, this was the location of a lumberyard and a place to turn logs into planks. But we won't take such a time jump, if we can just loot the planks from the ground. This should be enough. Here you go, Professor. First item, done. Next is a bronze bar, so they can smelt it into a tube. Well, a trip to the banks of that already. In order to make a new lens, they need some molten glass, and all that's needed for that is a bucket of sand and soda ash, which we can get by burning seaweed. Both items can be found on Peaceful and Trana, and there even is a furnace to combine them. In old school, glass blowing is the most common way to train crafting for Ironman. I'm curious to see if it is as prominent in RuneScape 3 as well. Back to the professor, directly handing over the molten glass and get instructions for the final missing item. A mold for the lens. Makes sense. It has been taken somewhere underground by the goblins and is being used for Saradomin knows what. Geared with a mighty bow and some arrows, we head into the lair. Well, hello there. If that isn't looking like a mold on that stove. There's just a sleepy guard blocking our way. Take that. Oh, locked. And the guard did not drop a key. Time to go searching. There are a bunch of chests down here, and one of them will give us the key. And by one of them, I of course meant the very last one. With that time waste done, we head back to the guard, make our way past him, and can retrieve the mold. Safely return to the professor. All prep should be done, and we can meet him inside for the finishing touch. That's one fine-looking telescope. And we get dips for trying it out. Through the power of taking screenshots, identifying the constellation is no issue at all. Nope. 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 Aha! Gemini. Just telling that to the professor and it is quest completed. Some crafting XP and a really cool sword. Thanks, Professor, but we have no time for further chit-chat. I hear a desert calling. It's been quite a while since we've last been there. For the reworked Prince Elite rescue. And now, around 1 month later, on the 14th of April, we get an area expansion of the desert. Until then, only Al-Kharid was available. Now, a section south of Ashanti Pass has opened up to a new hostile environment. Unfortunately, we had to pass through there already when we did Diamond in the Rough, the reworked Prince Elite rescue quest. But this time, we are here for quest number 44, Tourist Trap. Geared up with the finest desert protection and without any kind of hood or hat, we meet distressed Irena. Her daughter Anna was taking a trip through the desert, but has gotten lost and Irena fears for the worst, begging us to find her. There are still some faint footsteps leading south for us to follow. Alrighty, no problem. The steps lead down right to a shady group of guys at a gate. Time to turn up our riz and see if we can sneak inside the camp. In exchange for the head of Al-Saba Bazim, a notorious bandit to the west, we will be allowed passage. Sounds like some combat XP. I'm in. Further to the west, however, we are being informed that Vistaba Basim doesn't actually exist outside the captain's imagination. And using the absolutely most aggressive way to deliver that message leads to a fight. A quick one at that. And a key. Well, entrance granted. And believe it or not, straight to jail for carrying a weapon. The audacity. Time to put our strength to good use. It makes perfect sense. Let's take a look around. A bunch of books regarding sailing. What nonsense. This could never become a skill in any version of RuneScape. Trying to talk with a leader here only gets us thrown right into jail again. In the cell with a broken window. The only other thing lying around here was a key on some desk. Maybe we have to talk with some of the laborers to find out more. Hey, wait a minute. This isn't an equal opportunity workplace. This is a slave camp. We are being informed that most of the prisoners are being kept in the mines underground. If Anna is indeed in this camp, we'll probably find her below. And for breaking open the shackles of a prisoner, he gives us his slave gowns. With that disguise, we should be able to enter the mines. But we don't get too far. Some corrupt guards only let us further in exchange for juicy pineapples from some locals. Time to just walk out of here in our slave outfit. Security is on point. Back to the beta bean from earlier, who told us about the fake captain. They are willing to give up one of the famous pineapples in exchange for some weapon plants that are being kept in that mining site we just came from. Alright, the plant should be somewhere in the office of the leader. We just need to find a way to not get immediately thrown into prison again. The books about sailing we found earlier allow us to steer the conversation to a long monologue from the captain. With him distracted by his own ramblings, we can safely open the chest. Here you go, one weapon plan. Of course this isn't enough, however. We also need to construct a prototype. 1 bronze bar and 10 feathers should do it. A quick trip to the bank later, we can get to work. With carefully following the guidelines, we shape the bar into a small pointy thing and attach a feather at the end. Behold this mysterious technology. But that's enough for a pineapple. Now we can get further down into the mine, and at the very end, we finally meet Anna. Getting her out of here will not be so easy, however, as we need to hide her. This unsuspecting barrel, which is usually filled with ore, seems ideal. We ask Anna nicely to get inside, carry it to a lift, head back outside, and thus have managed to exit the mine. Just walking out of the door, however, proved to be a mistake, as Anna is discovered and thrown back into the mines. So once again, get Anna into the barrel, carry her onto the lift, get her out of the mine, and now place the barrel onto the getaway cart. And after flirting with the cart driver for a bit, we tell him that a riot is about to break out, and he should make sure to get out of here as quickly as possible. Now that's us safely out of the camp as well. Here you go, Irina. 1 barrel with your daughter, just as ordered. And our rewards are some free XP in one of 4 skills, just like in the original version. I think I'll go for agility. And that is now quest completed, concluding the update from the 14th of April. With the permanent reward of craftable darts on our side, we'll jump on over to the next update on the 7th of May. The city of Yarnell is threatened by nearby ogres, and their defenses struggle to keep them at bay in quest number 45, Watchtower. I'd love to help, but the guards are refusing entry to the quest start to anyone. Well, time to commit some crime again. Hello, wizard person. No worries, a mighty hero is here to help you. This is just Tree Gnome Village all over again. The protection spell is powered by 4 magical crystals, which have been stolen, and now must be retrieved before the ogres overrun the town. The first hint is to check the bushes at the base of the tower for clues. And we find a lot of clues. Eye patch, nails, dagger, armor. Let's ask a wizard for help. The nails appear to belong to Scavet, a servant race of the ogres. So they had their hands in all of this. Time to check out their base and see if we can recover the crystals. It's right outside of the city gates. They are semi-friendly, surprisingly, but to get past the guards, we need a gold bar. Yet again, a quick trip to the bank solves that. Now, what do we have here? A cave too difficult to navigate, without a map, leading us back out again. Let's try something else first. There's another entrance to the northwest, but the guard wants a sign of friendship, escorting us out of here until we can find one. Phew, it appears we need to find a friendly ogre on the outside first. That island with a named ogre looks like a good place to start. With a simple swing of a rope, we can cross the water. After convincing him not to eat us, we can get a sign of friendship from him in exchange for bringing him the teeth of his rival, Goret, to the southeast. There he is, on that hill. We just need to jump over that bridge. Of course, that is far too wide of a hole to jump over. Instead, we should search for a tunnel leading there. This looks promising. Hello, Goret. Two fairies here. That was easy, but there's another named ogre here. Tobin. Can't hurt to speak with him as well. He also offers a sign of friendship in return for some dragon bones. I can see where this is going. Each of them is just giving a piece of what we need. Good thing I always carry runes with me. Cleverly Dungeon by Falador should be the quickest way to a dragon. One dragon bone acquired. Now back to the ogres. First we swing back over to Gru and hand him the teeth. In exchange, we already get one of his stolen crystals, as well as parts of his statue. Very nice. And before returning to Tobin, I've noticed another named ogre. Og. Conveniently, she wants something from Tobin. He stole some gold from her and she wants it back. Good timing. Back through the tunnel onto the island, we first loot the chest for the gold and then hand over the dragon bones for another part of the statue. Back at Og, we get the final part of what we need. No further crystals, however. They must be inside the city when. After letting the wizard put together the parts, we should be able to enter. Success! The ogres on the inside don't appear overly friendly. Even the traders attack us after trying to start a conversation. I wasn't even rude. Yet? Further checkpoints with more ogres that demand a bribe. We need something from the market. Well, if the traders don't want to talk, some 5-finger discount seems only fair. Yoink! One delicious piece of rock. Enjoy! And the next bridge, we extorted out of 20 GP to be allowed to jump over the giant hole in it. Sure, this broken bridge can be jumped over. Very consistent. The last guard tasks us with procuring a mystery item. To find out which one it is, he gives us a needlessly long riddle. We get the individual letters as mini riddles and are left with this selection. And with some magic, there's our result. Death Rune. We've gotten some from Underground Pass, so a trip to the bank solves our issues once again. Now then, ogre, give me something good. A map. Well, we've got lost in some caves earlier, so this probably is our next step. That's one of these scavenged creatures, but we cannot understand a word it says. Maybe we have to check out a different cave. There were quite a few of them around here. There we go. This one speaks our language. In exchange for sparing his life, he tells us that the Mad Scavet took the other crystals below the city. To find out more, he gives us a translation book to communicate with the other Scavets around here. Back at the first cave, we pick up some of these strange plants and try again to speak with the creature. Don't really understand a whole lot more, to be honest, but we get a dialogue option. Trial and error seems to be the way forward. And after checking out the other Scavet caves, I don't feel any more knowledgeable about the language, but apparently we've learned enough to confront the Mad Scavet in the city. And as a reward for displaying knowledge over his language, he gives us another crystal and tells us the last two are in the Shaman Enclave within the city. By giving the guards some nightshade, we distract them enough to sneak past them. Seems like we should not mess with these shamans. Ouch, even talking to them is a bad idea. We need some more help from the wizards here. A strong potion should be able to defeat them. Guam mixed with Jenga berries and ground bed bones. We should have some Guam at the bank, and Jenga berries were found among the ogres earlier, leaving just bed bones. I remember beds outside Morgan Le Fay's castle near Camelot. It should be all. Now just some final magic touch from the wizards, and we should be good to go. Back in the Shaman Enclave, we can now take care of them one by using the potion on them. Yuck. And the final crystal is encased into a large rock. Dusting of it free, and that's all 4 of them retrieved. All back on the pillars, and that is quest completed. A big chunk of magic XP, access to the Ogre City, and the ability to teleport to Yanel. And we are not even leaving this month, as yet another quest released in May of 2003. On the 27th, to be exact. And what an impactful one that one is. A camp of dwarves is constantly besieged by marauding goblins, so they deployed one of their secret ranged weapons, but it has broken down, and now they need aid in quest number 46, Dwarf Cannon. Captain Logoff, near the barbarian village, is looking for new recruits for his blackguard. Glory and riches will surely await us. Aye, Captain. Point us to a mighty beast to fell and treasures to claim. It's slightly less epic than that, however. Their outpost is suffering greatly from constant goblin attacks, and their walls begin to crumble. They need someone to patch up the broken segments. This area has received a graphical rework quite recently. Before the 15th of January 2024, there was an iron fence in place of a stone wall. I haven't really found a reason as for why that was changed, but alas. Functionally, this part is the exact same. Instead of fixing bent railings, we fill holes with stones. Back to the captain for our next assignment. We've lost contact with the Watchtower to the south, Gylop and his son. Let's check it out. Yeah, doesn't look too good for that guy. Better report back. The captain identifies the corpse as Gylop, but there was no sign of his son. Maybe the goblins kidnapped him. It is up to us to brave their lair and rescue him. That looks like the right place. You there, goblin. Where's your prisoner? Not very talkative. Seems we must do this the hard way, by searching every interactable object. Success. There you go, kid. Back to military service with you. On the double. Despite all of his effort, the captain still has more tasks left for us. The cannon has been damaged and needs repair. Sure, let the guy who has never seen one of these things before fix it. What could go wrong? Let's see. This goes here, that can go there, this can be clicked. Yeah, good enough, I guess. Here you go, Captain. One perfectly working cannon thingy. But it doesn't end here. They are out of ammo, and don't even know what it shoots. They need us to go to Nulodion, atop the dwarf mine to get schematics for the ammo. Alright, call out or teleport, go. We should have seen that one coming. It fires cannonballs, for which molten steel is poured into an ammo mold. Yet again, a complex weapon system. With the mold and nodes retrieved, it is finally quest completed. And one of the most impactful quest reports one can get. We are now able to buy our own dwarf multicannon. I have no idea how strong that item is here in RuneScape 3. In old school it is very powerful, so I have high hopes. Unfortunately, we are a bit too poor to buy it. Just a bit over 600k coins. Not enough for the 750k it costs. Oh well, soon enough. The next skilling grind which I can make a profit from won't be far away. And thus, we've concluded with 27th of May, jumping forward 2 more weeks for a very unique quest. Released on the 9th of June 2003. A murder has taken place in northern Kandarin, and the local guards are clueless on who did it, requiring our help to solve the mystery in Quest 47. The victim of the murder is Lord Sinclair, residing in a small manor next to Camelot. Let's get him briefing to see if there are any leads already. The only thing that's certain is that the Lord was stabbed in his study on the ground floor. Everything else we need to figure out on our own. Our first stop, and by the name of him, the source of many a trustworthy information, is gossip. Apparently, each of his 6 children resented the Lord, not just because he gave up Camelot Castle for Arthur and his knights, but also because he threatened to disown each of them for past misdeeds, like addictions, thefts, or the likes. Quite a few suspects then. And he also overheard that a traveling poison salesman made a big sale to one of them recently. Let's gather some more evidence before confronting the kids. Hey there. Hey, alright, let's make this one of these weird distance conversations again. So tell me about the poison you're stop. Madness. Pure madness. Anyway, to spare these antics, he sold his extremely lethal poison to each and every one of the kids. Great, that didn't narrow it down at all. Back to the mansion. We haven't checked out the scene of the crime yet. There's a definitely smashed window, with some red thread being caught by a shard. Additionally, an attentive guard dog who viciously barks at strangers stands nearby. And taking absolute care to definitely contaminate the area, we step right into a pool of blood and find the alleged murder weapon. A very flimsy dagger. And also a pot with a disgusting odor the Lord has drank from before his death. Maybe it was a poison after all, and the dagger was just a diversion. Talking with the house staff, we found out what everyone allegedly used their poison for, and what the problems with Lord Sinclair were. So, if you find one of them lying, we should have a pretty strong clue on who might have done it. Now then, onto the subject. First on the list, Frank. Insightful talk. Really good person. And his brother David is just next to him. Enough insults for one conversation. We've got all we need from him. Next is one of his daughters, Anna. The first match of a threat. We should keep her in mind. And we do that by stealing one of her belongings while searching her room. Awkward. Bye. We continue upstairs and talk with Carol. And another match of a color. Better steal something from her as well for reasons, if we need it later. Now just 2 left. One son and a daughter. And there she is, Elizabeth. Another mismatched color. Just one last suspect remaining now. The final son, Bob. And another color match. Now that leaves 3 candidates with a matching color. Anna, Carol and Bob. And from each of them, we've already nicked a personal item. Now we have to check their alibis for the poison and see if we can find their fingerprints on some place where they shouldn't be. First, Carol. A hint of poison comes from the drain she claims to have cleaned. That checks out. And Anna's story also makes sense, as we find traces of her poison in the compost heap, leaving just Bob and his beehive open. Well, would you look at that? The bees are alive and happy. Now that's a promising suspect. In the shed we also found some flypaper, and combined with flour from the kitchen, we can now take fingerprints from both the murder weapon as well as Bob's teacup. And the prints match. There's only 2 options now. Either we contaminated everything by not wearing gloves, or Bob is the killer. Well, I don't really like the first option, so I guess it's case closed. Telling everything to the guard leads him to agree with us and lock up Bob for murder. Quest completed. Silly fool, should have just lured him into the wildy first. But this was already it for the 9th of June 2003. Aside from some teasers for the very soon to release RuneScape 2, there was no content update until exactly 1 month later, on the 9th of July. A group of archaeologists, west of Varrock, offers an exciting opportunity of uncovering the mysteries of the world and learn more about the lesser known gods. In quest number 48, the Digsite. This quest area has been changed a tiny bit with the release of the archaeology skill in 2020. But aside from some changed NPC locations, everything should be the exact same. Before we can use this archaeological site, however, and desecrate some tombs, we need to pass some tests first to prove that we are responsible in our actions. Yeah, sure, I know what I'm doing. Give me the exam. Multiple choice? Wow, that's an easy one. Sounds good. Now give me my license. What? I failed? Ridiculous. The right answers weren't even available. This game was rigged from the start. To actually be able to pass, we need to talk with some fellow students and find out what they've learned so far. Alright, sounds easy enough. First up, Eduardo. He's lost some animal skulls around here and fears one of the workers nicked it. No worries, I've already found it in this guy's pockets. Now share your wisdom with me. Earth science is the study of Earth. I would have never guessed that one. Up next, we've got Katarina, who has lost her favorite teddy bear while taking a walk near some bushes. All in a day's work. Please ignore these highlights. The game really wants me to start with archaeology, and I couldn't find a way to disable that setting. But I won't jump 17 years into the future just yet. Alright, Katarina, tell me something good. You have to use proper tools. Amazing. Last but not least, we've got Dorian, who lost a special cup near the penning area. Not to worry, I'm an expert penner since 5 seconds ago. That cup will be found in no time. Here you go, cup for information, please. To be able to use the site, one must pass the exam. What a coincidence, that's just what we are about to do. With 3 genius answers, that's an easy win. Success, but only level 1. To get full access to the site, we need to pass 3 exams in total. And that's just an easy task to talk with each of the students twice more. And just like that, we've passed the level 3 exam. Now then, on to the real quest. Finding something on the site that would impress Terry Balando, the archaeological expert here. Let's get digging. A strange artifact. Maybe this is something of note already. Seems to have been a hit. This is an amulet of Taros, an ancient and long forgotten god. It even has a totally not ominous inscription. Taros will return and wreak vengeance upon Samarak, the betrayer. Luckily the gods are long gone from this land and we will never run across them. It would be crazy. Still, however, maybe there's more where that one came from, and we are being directed to a mine shaft at the north end of a Digsite. And after retrieving hopefully enough ropes from the bank, we managed to lower ourselves down there. To find Doug, who has absolutely nothing noteworthy to say. What a bust. Apparently, this was the wrong mine. Oops. I mean, the entrance is looking very similar. Well, this looks promising. A bunch of skeletons. But the way is blocked with no way to dig through the amount of rubble. We need a bit more explosive solution. Hello there. Dangerous chemicals lying around unattended? Don't mind if I do. And a guide on how to mix an explosive substance. We need some ammonium nitrate, nitroglycerin, charcoal, and some roots. All materials that are around here. Just picking up a while to mix it all together and we can get started. A dash of this, a hint of that, and voila, chemical compound. Lovely. Clear. Amongst the skeletons is a tablet. Let's bring it back to Terry. It also has an inscription. Tremble mortals, for Taros shall return. Well, we will see about that. But that is quest completed. A big chunk of mining XP and 2 more quest points. I usually do this quest very early in OSRS. Combined with Plague City and Doric's quest, that's a lot of early mining levels out of the way, making power mining iron unlockable quite early. But alas, with the hefty mining rework in RuneScape 3, training the skill on low level was quite relaxing. And thus, we are taking a look at one of the last updates of 2003 and classic RuneScape. On the 28th of July, we get 2 pieces of content, a quest and a minigame. The second one, after Gnome Ball. Murphy and Port Khazad need some help with catching fish on the open sea in fishing trawler. Usually this is a team activity, but I want to stay on legacy servers as long as possible. So I guess we'll have to try our best at going solo. In old school, this is an important step for a new account to get the angler outfit. although most quit before hitting the gloves. I think this should be everything we need. A bunch of swamp tar, ropes, and a bucket. Set sail, Captain. What? Ironman cannot play minigames. Huh? Well, update completed, I guess? This is rather weird. I didn't look up such specific Ironman restrictions in Runescape 3 beforehand, so I had absolutely no clue until this message popped up. I hope this won't be too annoying in the future. There's nothing to be done about that now, however, so let's jump on over to the other part of today's update. And that is quest number 49. Gertrudes Cat. Fluss has gone missing, and Gertrude is starting to worry. Nothing to fear. As a proper hero, saving a companion is an easy task. The only hint she can give us is to check in with her sons, Shylock and Willow, at the marketplace. And a rightful pair of brats they are. Refusing to help finding her mother's cat if you do not pay them for it. Shame there's no attack option here. Anyway, 100 GP later, we are being told that they've seen Fluss in the abandoned part of town to the southwest. Better than nothing. With the release of Fort Forentry, this quest was slightly changed. Originally, Fluss would have been in the lumberyard. But, with it now replaced, this quest location had to be changed too. There she is. Here, kitty kitty. Ouch. She appears to be thirsty. Better get her some fresh milk. Here you go, little thing. Now let's get you back home. Not yet, it seems. Hungry now, eh? Better ask Gertrude for help with that. Plus wants some Dougal sardines, which is just raw sardines wrapped in Dougal leaves. The leaves can be found right behind her house, while the sardines need to be caught. No problem, we've got a good fishing level. Plus seems to like that mixture, but if it was still not enough, something is missing. A shaky box and a bunch of kittens inside. Aw, let's reunite the family. And that was it. Back to Gertrude. Plus has already returned with her offspring and is also happy, offering a kitten as a reward. I hope you enjoy the inside of a bank for the next 3 years or so until I need a Hellcat. I think this was quite a bit of content for today, and I thank you for watching. But the end of RuneScape Classic is just around the corner, and we have a very big send-off in the form of Legends Quest coming soon. And as I'm quite capable of using a calculator, I made sure in advance that our quest points are sufficient for the next quest without any further switches. Oh. Well,